Welcome to the Sailor Noob podcast, where a superfan and a noob talk about the original Sailor Moon episode by episode. I'm your host, Mikan Hana, joined by my co-host.
I'm the co-host, the noob, Caliban, and this is the season for young girls. Hold on, somebody's at the door.
Wow. And we're a couple of magical people ready to moon prison power make up this episode. Sailor Noob is brought to you by the rabbit in the moon pounding mochi.
I don't know. I think it's funny that Usagi at the beginning, you know, in the little, here's what's going to come on the episode.
Yeah.
Because they stick a Gleiko ad in between that and the show. Like, we're about to watch the show.
I know.
But,
I'm not sure why they do that.
But she's like, earthworms and crickets, water striders. Even Ray can fall in love. It's like, yeah, Usagi, you use your imaginary platform that nobody else can be on to bag on the other sailors. Go for it. Doesn't really make any sense, but
no, it does not.
I want to say before anything starts,
yes,
I predicted this. I want credit.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
Like,
yeah,
I'm afraid. We're going to talk about what's coming up in the future, and I'm afraid to say anything because I'm clearly just creating this lucid dream as we go. But I said, like, what happens if we have a Luna episode?
Yes.
Guess what?
We had a Luna episode. Yes.
So. Yeah, I've got some kind of weird power. I had something else I wanted to say, too.
Yeah, go for it.
Don't judge me. I don't want to hear anything about it. What if you've seen, like, sort of gender-flipped cosplays, right?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Could I do a Sailor Moon cosplay?
I don't see why not.
I don't have... Well, here's the problem. Is it girled... I mean, the whole thing is girled up because it's all hearts and stuff anyway. But, like... Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't have a problem wearing a skirt. I just don't. You see that, but I want to make sure that people know that I'm not.
You're not
having a laugh.
Fun of it.
Yeah. You see the guy with the full beard, and he's got the gut coming out of the bottom of the fuku top, and he's like, "I'm Sailor Moon." Like, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
So the only other option is to be like a pretty boy. Sailor Moon, right?
Right.
And I was thinking, are biker shorts the male equivalent of the little skirt?
Maybe. I hadn't thought about that before, but yeah.
Yes, some blue biker shorts.
There you go.
Some glittery,
some royal blue
glittery biker
shorts. Yes. I think that could work.
Right.
Would you have a bow on the back of it?
I think you got to keep the bows.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how, unless it's like, no, it's a bike chain that's tied into it. No, I mean, like, that's the whole,
right.
That's the whole milieu of
would
the costume.
Would you do the dango hair?
Yeah,
the
we got to figure something out with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyway, details incoming as things develop.
Well, if you do a gender switched Sailor Moon, maybe I'll be Tuxedo Mask.
Tuxedo Mask. Yeah, I guess there's no. Don't change the name.
Right.
That's not the point.
Right.
So you would just do, a woman in a tuxedo.
Right.
Like you're in a.
like Victoria?
Yeah, or you always see this. I'm just pointing something out, but you always see it in like, oh, we're in the 30s, pre-war 30s in Europe, and we're in a gay bar, and there's two ladies in tuxedos dancing. It's time to retire that one. There's plenty of other things that we can do to show that we're in a gay bar in the 30s.
Right.
And I say that all the time because my grandma said it all the time.
Wow. I don't know. Maybe I'd switch it up a little bit and do some kind of skirt or something like that with it, but still do like the tuxedo like jacket and everything.
What about a black cocktail dress with a sash, to approximate like a cummerbund?
Yes.
And then you could have like
maybe a vest.
Well, now we're layering it on because you're gonna have a cape, and
True.
then maybe you could wear like Chippendale cuffs and collar.
Oh, I kind of like that idea.
You could just wear the bow tie around your neck. Like when you go to prom and the guy's like, oh, it's tie, and the girl's like, oh, I'm wearing a tie.
Sure, yeah.
Gotta do that.
I kind of like that idea.
Should we cut all this?
No,
I don't want anybody to steal this.
I think I would keep the top hat, though. Gotta keep the top hat, the cape, and the cane.
Yes.
And of course, roses.
And just a bag of holding with roses.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to it. Today we are talking about episode number 31. Koisarete owarete, Luna no saiku no hi, in Japanese. Love and Chase, Luna's Worst Day Ever, the English translation, and the English title, Kitty Chaos.
It's strong.
It's explosive. It's 2K
it's
sounds.
Explosive. It's 2K sounds. God.
I know.
It's Shecky Green over here. Okay, well, I guess I'll do a recap. We open in Dystopia with a view of Tokyo Tower, and we hear a shriek, and we see Luna being chased by a mass of cats.
Yeah.
A clouder of cats.
Is that what it's called?
It is.
Wow.
And they all look high or angry. They've got yellow eyes. They've got real flat expressions. Maybe that's just, is that like an anime shorthand for like, this is a bad guy. Like this guy is cold-hearted. They don't care. Well, there's a lot of them. They chase Luna to a wall, like a dead end, and Luna slides to a stop with the sound of brakes. Looney Tunes influenced everyone. Well, not just the West.
Oh, for sure.
And she turns apprehensively to the cats, who all immediately kind of smile at her, but like menacingly. They're showing their teeth for sure. Mm-hmm. And they're all going, nah, nah, nah.
Yeah.
And there's a little cat chewing on her tail, it's revealed.
Yes.
So there's like
little pink
all
kitten.
these big cats and a tiny little pink kitten that's just been like gnawing on her tail the entire time. What show is this? An orange striped cat emerges from the pack and walks towards Luna, and she's going to hear all about Mondays, believe me. When suddenly a fish skeleton, tail first, embeds itself in the pavement at the cat's feet, much like the roses of Tuxedo Mask.
Yep.
Tuxedo Mask's theme begins to play as we pan up to see a large green cat sitting on top of a building. And I tell you, this cat is large.
How large is he?
This cat is so large, he's asking Garfield for weight loss tips.
Whoa.
I tell you, this cat is so large, he's got 18 lives, but they'll all be cut short by heart disease. This cat is so large, let me tell you. He wants to come back in before he's finished going out.
Oh my goodness.
This cat is so large, you can't believe it. He eats the head of the fish, too.
Oh my God.
This is a large cat. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, he's very rotund.
Don't they eat the head of the fish in Japan? Fish
often.
cheeks is like a big thing, right?
Yeah.
So again, this is just like Western animation, like, oh, a dead fish, it means trash, and that means like, you know, the Heathcliff, where he pulls the body of the skeleton comes out of his mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah, anyway, so it's a big cat, that's what I'm saying.
It's just animation shorthand for fish skeleton, yes.
This large cat, he's also basically expressionless, but he turns to the cat, and he's like, nah. And the cats...
They all make weird noises.
Freak out, and they all back off. Literally, they just move backwards like they ran the film in reverse.
Yeah.
So he's already more effective than Tuxedo Mask. And the cats are just like, meow, 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 as they leave.
Yes.
Then there's this... There's this really long bit with the little cat that's biting Luna's tail, which is still there.
Yes.
And it lets go of her tail. It's like, meow, meow, meow. And then it shows it's got like these huge steel teeth.
I know.
And it just kind of nonchalantly walks off, and Luna just watches it go. It takes 30 seconds. And Luna's tail is cartoon hurt by the little cat biting it. You know, it's like, wah, wah, wah. And Luna turns to see the large cat licking it. I tell you, this cat is so large, its favorite brand is Stouffer's. Luna is a little freaked out by this, and this large cat, this is a large cat, leans into her slowly, and we hear a girl's voice call out, Rhett Butler! Rhett Butler!
I know!
Rettu Butler!
Yes.
And the large cat runs off, shuffles quickly off. Rhett Butler.
Yes.
Luna follows to see a young girl, essentially the same size as the cat, pick him up, and Luna says, he doesn't look like a Rhett Butler.
I know! Which I'm like...
All right, Luna.
Also, I'm wondering, do young kids in Japan even have any idea who Rhett Butler is?
This is like the 90s. I don't know. I got no idea.
Right?
Although, spoilers... Ray does say "Gone with the Wind" later.
Yeah, they have two references to "Gone with the Wind."
So there's
in
a
this
thing.
episode. Yeah.
If
for
Luna
sure.
was a movie star, who do you think she'd be?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. Like modern day or like classic?
Well, I think we're in the vein of classic, but if you've got a modern one.
Well, geez, with her coloring, I'd assume she'd be a Scarlet who has dark hair. So I don't know. Maybe she'd be a Vivian Lee.
Whoa.
Modern day Sandra Bullock. How about that?
Wow. Big Luna fan over here.
Luna is classy.
Yeah.
Okay, she is down to business, no nonsense. You know, she knows what she wants. She knows what she needs to do. She's very responsible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a total Luna stan for sure. How about you? Who would you cast to play Luna?
Ruth Buzzi. Well, guess what?
I don't even know who that is.
This girl is apparently our possessed Yuma, our Yuma possessed human.
Yes.
As of the week, as we dissolve to the Dark Kingdom, and Zoisite is looking at her on the black crystal projector, saying, "This one will be easy to get. Mm-hmm. Better get there before the cat eats her." Oh. It's a big cat, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Back in Tokyo, Luna is looking at herself in a fountain, and she's soaking her glowing tail tip. This is a cartoon. Mm-hmm. And Ami is with her, and she says, Luna says, "Well, that was crazy, huh? What did Luna tell her? I guess she told her what happened."
Told her. I think
and Luna says, "Man, I don't want to get caught up in these turf wars between stray cats."
That's apparently what was going on?
Yes.
I don't know.
Usagi and Mako arrive, and through dialogue we learn that it's fall. Also through just looking at the leaves on the trees. Mm-hmm. It's a Sunday, and Ray is on a date.
Yes.
Across town, Ray is in a phone booth calling Mamoru. She gets him on the line, but it's not him. It's just his answering machine. Mm-hmm. Classic bit. Yeah. We cut to Mamoru's bachelor pad as we hear Ray leaving her message. Also classic. But he is out on the balcony thinking about the seventh rainbow crystal. Mm-hmm. Where it is, where we're going to find it.
Yes.
And the message is funny. It's like, "Oh, Mamoru, I found a shop that has an unusual cake called tiramisu."
Yes.
"Oh, you may not believe it, but I'm rather sensitive to trends." "Oh, why am I talking like this?"
Which I love bits like this because in the anime, Ray is like, she's so serious, she's so fiery, but we also get these moments where she's actually like really goofy and kind of awkward. So I can appreciate that.
She's got a tough life. She's got to be a shrine maiden, and there's a lot of responsibility, but yeah, she also wants to have fun.
Yes.
Like all girls.
Right.
I've been told. Back with the girls, Ami is using her Robocop computer. Hey, haven't seen that in a while. Mm-hmm. To search for the seventh rainbow crystal. Wait, they can do that?
Yeah. Why haven't they been doing this whole time?
And it says Operation number 31 on the screen, which is the episode number, which I thought was cute. But isn't it Operation 23 for her? Or I guess
she hasn't been. It's
been
Operation 31 for Usagi. But...
Yeah, I guess the computer's maybe on Usagi time.
Yeah, I guess.
The computer comes up with a location, which turns out to be a very modern-looking house in Tokyo, and Luna spies in a high window as they approach the house Rhett Butler.
Yes.
In the window.
Yep.
This cat is so large, if Rhett Butler saw it, he'd be like, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." Luna is like, "Hey, yeah, look, I'll just wait right here. You guys can go ahead and do it."
Yeah.
And Usagi does something amazing. Usagi says to Luna, "Luna, this is an important mission. Remember your duties." Just like Luna would say. And then she gives herself like cat eyes and ears with her hands. And Luna's like, "Okay, I'm not that ugly. Come on." It's so sarcastic. I love it.
It's pretty great.
Yes, Usagi's on top in this one. Dumb Bunny won. She is in control of this. The girls are like, "Okay, well, we'll check it out. Stay here." And Luna's like, "I wish Usagi was always this motivated." Well, Luna, if you design a way to make beating the Dark Kingdom seem like making fun of you,
then maybe
that's what a leader would do. Yeah, that was the answer the entire time.
Right. Try to way to motivate her to get to be excited about it.
As she's glowering, the sound of snapping and little paws being cracked can be heard as the gang cats appear on the wall behind Luna. Persian, Chartreuse, Siamese.
Oh my gosh.
Manx, Scottish Fold, Norwegian Forest. Oh, she had it coming. She had it coming. All right.
I like it.
Ami knocks on the door of the house, and the little girl answers. I don't know if we ever find out this girl's name.
I don't think we do.
And she says that her mommy and daddy won't be home until nighttime, so latchkey kid, I guess.
Yeah.
Although, with that large cat guarding her. And Usagi is getting a moonstick reading just out of nowhere.
Yes.
And Rhett Butler starts freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Must be third lunchtime. And he starts wiggling around. He's trying to get free. As he's trying to pull out of her arms, he's sort of like stretching out of her arms. Eventually he gets free. He tears off down the street. The little girl runs after him. She chases Rhett Butler down an alleyway where she's conveniently alone, so Zoisite can drop down on her. And he drops, like spread-eagled down on her.
Yeah,
we hear
terrifying.
A child scream, and the girls do what they should have done before and chased after this girl. So they run out to go get her.
Yes.
I guess they didn't want to show Zoisite knocking out an 8-year-old girl
I
on
guess.
the show, if she's 8 at all.
Right.
Meanwhile, a confrontation with exactly the same stakes is happening. Luna is facing down the gang cats. And the lead orange tabby leaps at her, claws extended, but Luna is yanked out of the way by Rhett Butler.
Yes.
Wow, can this guy be in 2 places at once? You bet he can. When he sits around Tokyo, he really sits around. He's that large. That's what I'm talking about. And just when you think that I'm the bad guy for doing fat cat jokes, the show joins in. Rhett gets Luna to the top of the wall on the other side of the street, but they start to sort of like teeter off, and all the gang cats are like, whoa.
And I love how like Luna and Rhett Butler both have giant sweat drops like all over
This
them.
is very sweaty.
Yes.
In many ways, episode. Yeah. And then Rhett jumps back across the street with Luna, and he lands on a manhole cover, and the manhole starts to like flip over, and the gang cats are like, yeah. And then Rhett and Luna go in the sewer.
Yes.
Back in Predator Alley, Zoisite is getting ready to get that crystal, but the black crystal gets a 0 reading from the young girl. Turns out it was the cat.
Mm-hmm.
The cat came back.
Yes.
Rhett was the final great Youma the whole time.
Yes.
Our heroes appear at the end of the alley, conveniently already transformed, so we don't have to worry about secret identities at this point, right? Mm-hmm. And they're all trying to squeeze into the alley like Three Stooges style at the same time. They're all trying to give their opening threats, like. And then when Sailor Moon does her hand gesture, she keeps hitting the other girls in the face. And Zoisite is like, yeah, Zoe. And Mercury tries to summon a Shaban spray, but she can't. Too cramped. Which raises an interesting question. Do they have to make the movements?
Apparently they do.
This is like a Power Ranger thing. I got to pretend to blow on a flute.
Right. Exactly.
And then Jupiter tries to Supreme Thunder, but the girls are like, no, you're going to electrocute every one of us. Stop it. Stop it. And Zoisite's like, okay, bye. And he just pedals away to the girl's chagrin. Yes. And he reappears in the sewers in pursuit of Rhett. And he's not happy.
Oh, no.
He is a refined gentleman.
Yeah.
He's not enjoying the sewers.
No.
And he says, like, this might be my greatest challenge yet. Back at the little girl's house, our heroes have just made themselves at home while they care for this girl. Usagi's mad at Luna for apparently running off. But that doesn't last long because this girl's got the Sailor V video game.
I know.
And Mako and Ami are like, okay, we don't have time for that because Zoisite could attack again. Boy, I can't believe this young girl could have a rainbow crystal inside her. And under all of this, we hear a video game booting up and the sound of play, which is just a great bit. In the sewers, Zoisite is still searching for the rainbow crystal, and he puts his hand up against the wall of the dark tunnel that he's in, and he's like, it's warm. And we gives a little light from his crystal. We pull out and we see that his hand is in a pile of rats. And there are rats everywhere forever. Mm-hmm. And he screams womanly.
Yes. Yes. He does.
Over in the Juban shopping district, Rei is dejected. She can't find Mamoru. But who should she run into but Yuichiro?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, it's Yuichiro. I can't believe it. Who would have thought that he would have come back?
You seem disappointed.
I don't think that I got this last time, but he's huge.
How huge is he?
No, he's not cat. He's got to be like 7 feet tall. He's like 2.5 heads higher than Rei.
Yeah, and she's not short.
I don't know if it's like a perspective thing, but yeah, but he's a giant. So
he's very tall.
He asks Rei out for a cup of tea, and Rei's like, and he's like, oh, okay, no, and he runs away. And I don't know, we're just laying seeds, just planting seeds.
Uh-huh.
Back in the sewer, Luna and Rhett are looking for a way out, and she sees that Rhett is bleeding. There's a little gravy coming out of his arm. It's a big cat. And she realizes that he's put himself on the line for her. You know, he's doing this for her. She's like, oh, do you like me? And then he blushes at that, and he understands English, I guess.
I know.
Or maybe she speaks cat and English. Down the tunnel, we see Zoisite being chased by a swarm of rats. And Zoe is like, oh, I found you! The great crystal! Wow, rats coming up behind him. And Luna's like, whoa! Let's hide in this narrow crack. But yeah, like, I don't know if this is going to work for Rhett. You know, Rhett makes a cat flap look like the Play-Doh Fun Factory. So this is going to be a tall order. This is a large cat. This is a really large cat. She's like pushing him, sweatily, like shoving him. Finally shoves him into the crack. Zoisite slips in like a snake, like goes.
I don't know how he's
right
able to do
them.
that. I know.
And then, of course, all the rats come in through the crack in the wall too.
Yes.
So they're trying to get through this crack to wherever it goes. Luna looks back, and Zoisite is right behind them. And then he's like immediately engulfed by rats that overtake him.
So disgusting.
And Luna's like, must go faster, must go faster.
Yeah.
And we see a light at the end of the tunnel. Meanwhile, overlooking a river, but I guess it's more like a drainage spillway.
Yeah.
Scenic.
Right.
Rei is pouting, and she thinks, I should have gone on that date with Yuichiro. Wait a minute. Is that Luna? Oh, she's got a boyfriend. Well, Luna, you little... Are they being chased by 6 million rats? Welcome to the episode, Rei.
I know.
Back at the house of little girl, Usagi is still playing the Sailor V game, and Ami finally figures out that the moonstick isn't glowing, so the girl can't be a Yuma. Use your tools, girls.
Yes.
It was the cat the entire time, and Usagi's like, oh, I lost all my lives.
Yeah, pretty much.
So now that the game's over, they leave.
Yeah.
Back at the spillway, Luna and Rhett are still being chased, and the mass of rats goes past them, and it stops, and it starts to rise up. They look like evil tribbles.
Yes.
And within, we see the eyes of Zoisite. And he says, disaster has turned into fortune. Can he control rats?
I don't think so, but it almost seems like it by the end of the episode. Maybe the crystal is just that powerful.
Are rats evil in this world? That's what I need to know.
Great question.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Rei blasts them with a fire soul, and she's like, oh yeah, it's Sailor Mars time. I'm not going to let you stand in the way of these cats' love. And Luna's like, whoa, no, you got it all wrong. Don't worry, Luna, I got this. Flames of love, flames of justice, I'll discipline you. And Zoisite's like, sure, okay, yeah, right. Let's get that rainbow crystal. Zoe, we got the pink crystal. And when the pink crystal is removed, Rhett Butler transforms into a giant cat monster who looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he looks, I don't know how to describe it, but he looks, I don't want to say tribal because that just means so many dumb things now. It doesn't mean anything important.
Right.
But he looks like, he's got like one of those necklaces. That's the word.
Yeah,
but I mean, like it's a neck adornment. It's like an Egyptian thing.
It looks Egyptian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if the Egyptians, because the Egyptians just had cat
like
gods that were like,
collar.
what's up? I got a cat head.
Right.
But if like an Egyptian guy, did a little peyote and then tried to like draw like a cat spirit or something, that's kind of what it looks like. He's like a huge cat monster.
Yes.
Not large, huge. To make that distinction. Okay. He's like a werecat.
Oh, good. Yeah, good point.
And Zoe is like, eat him up, fatty. But a rose knocks the crystal out of his hand and cuts his hand. And yeah, Tuxedo Mask has arrived. Just put it in your pocket, Zoe. You get the crystal?
Zoe doesn't
get one
think
of those
about
little
that.
money belts that you put under your shirt, when you're traveling.
Yes.
Just stick it in there.
Right.
TM says, I'll take that. And he literally runs off like, whoop, 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 whoop.
I know,
and
right?
We don't see him in the episode again.
No, he's gone. He's just gone.
Rhett the Yoma just stumbles off in the direction of town, I guess. But Luna gets in front of him and she's like, wait, we can help you. And you'll have to explain this to me. But she has like an episode? Like she faints or something? Earlier in the episode we saw when they opened the door and the little girl was holding Rhett and he saw Luna. He had like this kind of flash of something, of scenes.
Right.
And Luna kind of like faints and like rolls down the embankment and Rhett catches her. Yes. And we see like a connection between the two. Uh-huh. It's a nice moment.
Yeah.
And Rei sees those flames of passion that she was talking about. Well, forget all that, because shave on spray, we got a Yoma to kill.
Right,
Jupiter slides down the embankment, grabs Luna from Rhett, and Rei's like, what took you so long? And Ami's like, sorry, we were a bit absent-minded. It has nothing to do with Usagi playing a lot of video games. That's not what it was. I know. It is just, is it like inadvertent, or are they trying to throw Usagi under the bus?
I think Ami, honestly, because she's just so honest, she can't help but say that's where I'm coming from with it. I don't think she would ever intentionally throw anybody under the bus. I think she literally is just saying what happened, and she's trying to say it's not her fault, but like, why even mention it?
Yeah. Luna says, quick, moon healing restoration, and Sailor Moon does. We get a meow fresh.
So great. Honestly, that was awesome.
And we get Rhett Butler back, only slightly worse for wear.
Yes.
Usagi is like, whoa, Luna's got a boyfriend. Woohoo! And Luna's like, geez, even Usagi's bagging on me. Yeah, that's how it feels, Luna. That's how it feels every day for Usagi. We cut to this very anime tableau where Luna is looking into the sky and Rhett's face appears. It almost fits into the sky.
Wow.
It's a big cat. And he blushes and Luna's like, all right, let's not get carried away.
She's not really having it.
And that's it. I got questions.
Oh, please.
So it's almost like a retcon or like a late in the game information, but
yeah,
it's a cat. It's reincarnated into a cat.
Yeah.
Do cats have human souls or the equivalent of demon souls? And they try to, not the game, and then they kind of smooth it over because Zoisite's like, oh, I hate dealing with animal Youma. Like, that's ever been a thing?
We've never seen that before.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, they didn't say that they could, so they were, okay, so wherever this happened, because we don't know where the rainbow, where in time or space.
Well, let's move on to my next point then. So they're reincarnated, but not all at the same time, I guess, because Yumemi Yumeno is not the same age as a large cat.
Here's what I'm thinking. If this happened, I don't know how many years ago, it could have been reincarnated into several humans or creatures at this point, and we're just seeing the current reincarnation.
Because reincarnation is reincarnation.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So,
where'd you read that?
I didn't read it anywhere. It's just a theory.
I mean, I don't know how old this cat is. You know, they have 9 lives, but of course 7, 8, 9. So, and then I just wanted to just mention real quick that I thought it was interesting to see Mamoru was only in this for a little bit, but it was an interesting appearance because we know that he knows that he's Tuxedo Mask. But in the past, he's just been like, wow, I wonder when I'll just transform into a cape dandy again. But now he's actually like actively, his thoughts are cleaving more towards, he's thinking like Tuxedo Mask now. Because he's like, I got to get that crystal.
Yes.
So I just thought that was interesting.
I guess maybe just a little bit about Mamoru.
Oh boy.
So in both the anime and in the manga, it is said that he suffers from amnesia. But the forms of amnesia work a little bit differently.
He's got that coconut hitting you on the head amnesia, like Gilligan's Island?
No, it's worse than that, and I don't know.
It's worse than that.
Well, I don't know how much you.
No, I don't want anything.
His past hasn't totally been revealed yet, so
okay,
I don't want to.
Why do you do this?
What?
Why does this happen?
I don't know.
I'm a good person.
Oh yeah.
Why is this happening to me?
I'm sorry. So I won't get into it.
Kind of feels like you just did.
I did not. I could have gone much further.
How would you describe Just Enough Trope? We are the Just Enough Trope podcast. I'm your host, Caliban, joined as always by my co-host.
Hi, I'm Mikan Hana.
Oh no, does this mean they can hear all the things I yell at the TV during Downton Abbey?
Why did you do that?
How do you plead?
Let the game begin. Yeah, check these fresh moves. Oh!
Don't shoot man in face.
This isn't the Save Gotham fundraiser.
It's the Chill Family Reunion.
Master Yoda assigned a Padawan to this bold Jedi.
I think it's pronounced Padawan.
Oh, Padawan, excuse me.
Hey, it's getting late. I think Ralph's going to want his motorcycle back.
Go jerk off the pictures of Dean Gray.
I am freaking getting old.
Yeah, I noticed the life clock was blinking in your hand.
Get out of here, Wilson. Go fight the Teen Titans or something.
I'm unkillable, not unwoundable.
You like Sailor Moon, right? Why don't you sail on his
Wow.
Just Enough Trope. News, reviews, and geek fondue every Monday on the Just Enough Trope Podcast Network.
Loving me never have a say you so sorry.
What?
For Natsukashi Omoide, where we revisit topics that we had questions about on previous episodes, we had a question about what is the meaning of Hokkaido. So this is kind of a complicated answer. Hokkaido means Northern Sea Circuit, or literally Northern Sea Province Prefecture. And it was previously had a different name before that. It's got some interesting history. But I won't get into that exactly. But at the beginning of the Meiji Restoration was when it kind of officially became an island of Japan, and they wanted to distance it from being associated with the native people, the Ainu, and being kind of wild. So they decided they were going to rename it. So this guy, Matsura Takashiro, was a Japanese explorer who had explored the island that was previously called Ezo, or Ezochi. And he had become friends with many of the Ainu and even studied their language. And he proposed 6 different names for the island, including Kaihokudo, which means Ocean Northern Route, and Hokkaido, which means Northern Kai Route. He selected the Kai and Hokkaido to delineate the Ainu people, as he thought, inaccurately, that was the term that they used for the island in their own language. The Japanese government liked how Hokkaido sounded, but preferred the kanji that were used for Kaihokudo. So they used the kanji for Kaihokudo to mean Hokkaido. So Hokkaido's meaning of Northern Sea Route was created. So basically, it's kind of a made-up Japanese word.
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Great.
So, but I thought that was interesting. For Kyoro Kyoromiru, Curiously Looking Around, where we talk about elements of Japanese culture within the episode, I thought we would talk about some of Japan's cat islands, specifically. Interestingly enough, there are at least a dozen cat islands in Japan. I am going to talk about 2 of perhaps the most well-known cat islands. Aoshima, or Ao Island, in Ehime Prefecture, which is close to Shikoku Island in southern Japan, and Tashirojima, or Tashiro Island, in Miyagi Prefecture. Yes, Miyagi, like Mr. Miyagi. Which is off the coast of Honshu in the Pacific Ocean. Both islands have become known as Nekonoshima, literally Cat Island. So what is a cat island? It is an island where there are more cats living there than humans. Cats have outnumbered humans living on Aoshima for years. News channels have surveyed the population of cats on the island to be as much as 10-1 to humans. However, the population has erupted in years, and as recently as last year, the population was estimated to be closer to 36-1.
Oh, jeez. It's all those cat gangs.
Yeah, right? It's all those turf wars.
Yeah. It's like the Warriors.
Yeah. So the
baseball
cats...
furries. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Good.
The cats were originally brought to Aoshima to catch rodents on fishing vessels, but they continued to live on the island and had large quantities of kittens.
What do they eat?
Well, so the locals feed them.
Okay, there's your problem.
Cat food.
There's your problem.
Yeah. So, but there are designated feeding areas. So the Aoshima is only about 1 mile in length. So it's a very small island.
Wow.
Back in 1945, Aoshima was a small fishing village and the population was 900.
Then the cats came.
Right. In 2018, only 13 inhabitants remained. By 2019, that dropped to 6, with the average age being over 75.
Okay. Wow.
So the large majority of
we
the
left
people...
the elderly behind.
Yeah. The large
They couldn't
majority
get
of the
away.
people who live there, have lived there previous to World War II and just continued living there. So many tourists come to Aoshima to feed and visit with the cats. I have seen other things saying, please, if you're a tourist, don't feed the cats, because tourists will literally feed them anything.
Yeah, if you feed them, they'll keep coming back.
Well, yeah, but they'll feed them any kind of snack they have on them, not specifically cat food. So that's probably not that good for him. But in 2018, I think it was interesting. It was not this most recently. It was decided that the cat population would all get spayed or neutered in order to bring down the number of cats. By October 2018, 210 cats had been spayed or neutered, with only an approximation of 10 cats not yet receiving the procedures as they were being kept out of sight by an inhabitant who disagreed with the plan.
Well, that's a big reduction anyway.
Yeah.
A million questions.
Yeah.
Who paid for this? Japan, you got your own problems to deal with. I love cats.
Yes.
And I guess I would, Japan's solution is, let's somehow round up and spay and neuter all these cats.
Yeah.
Whereas Russia's solution would be...
I know.
And so I think I fall somewhere in the middle, which is, boy, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but you can't capture and spay and neuter. What do they have, a field hospital? How do they?
I don't know.
How do they even do it?
I don't know. They must take them off of the island.
Plus, they don't. Sure, they come out for food, but as soon as you start grabbing them, they probably scatter.
Mm-hmm.
It's an mostly uninhabited island. There are
Yes.
a million places they can hide.
Yes.
You're never going to get.
All of them.
You're never even going to get a statistically significant amount of them.
Yeah.
And then you got some weirdo that's got a Anne Frank attic for cats.
Yeah, I know.
Anne Frank attic. So this is just I guess it's who gets the money from the tourists?
That's a really good question. I don't.
Because if it's the government,
No.
they're invested, I guess, in getting tourist entrance money or whatever.
I don't know. When I researched it, they didn't say anything about paying a fee.
So it's literally just you hire a boat that takes you to Cat Island.
You go to the fair. You go on the ferry. That's it.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Just stop the ferry for a month. Just say you can't go there for a month.
Right. Right.
And just let nature take its toll on the Cat Islands.
I know.
But you guys are supporting this infestation.
Mm-hmm.
And, or I don't know, or just, apparently you have the ability to capture them and cage them
Mm-hmm.
to take them to spay or neuter them. Do that, but just take them to
somewhere
volunteer
else.
clinics, run them through a pest and
I see what
disease
you're
screen,
saying.
and then offer them up
See if
for...
they can be adopted.
Yeah, and then, again, this is the side that we don't want to talk about, but after they're at the shelter for a week and nobody picks them up, then they go bye-bye.
I don't
Wow.
want them to go bye-bye. That got real dark.
We were having a lot of fun before.
Yeah, we were.
Or,
What happened?
we got to bring it back. Have Red eat them all. Okay, and we keep moving.
Whoa. So yeah, Aoshima is not easy to get to. Ferries only visit it twice a day, with a daily maximum tourists of 34 people.
There you go. It's Isle of Cats, like Isle of Dogs. And you're like, oh, honey, the sun's going down. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, no, the last ferry. They run to catch it, miss it. No, they're stuck on the Isle of Cats.
That would be really bad because,
Overnight.
interestingly enough, and I guess this makes sense. Whoa. Yeah, they'll serenade you.
Oh, somebody already did that one.
Aoshima was not created with tourists in mind. It was just a small fishing village. There aren't any cars, restaurants, hotels, or even vending machines. So if you go, plan accordingly. There are a lot of really great photos of the cats on Aoshima out there. So go check those out.
10 words or less. What do they look like?
What do the cat pictures look like?
Yeah.
Or what do the cats look like on
We're
them?
already over 10. I just mean they've been on this island.
Yeah.
It's who knows how they got there, maybe people bring their stray cats there. I'm sorry, Fluffy.
Oh gosh, let's hope not.
So, like, what's the population like? Like, are they all kind of mixed genetically, or are they distinctive?
There's a mixture. There's a lot of orange tabbies. There's some orange and white. There's some gray. But
Sure.
you don't really see they're all short hairs. They're not. There's no Persians or anything like
Right.
that. And what is the breed again? Where they're kind of almost look blue. They're like so gray that they kind of look blue.
There's a couple different ones.
Yeah, but there's none of those. So I mean, it's more like orange and grays and combinations thereof.
Okay.
So, and then the second island is Tashirojima, and during the Edo period, which was again 1603 to 1868, a lot of the inhabitants grew silkworms for their silk. So the residents again brought cats to catch the rodents to prevent them from eating silkworms.
But the cats ate the silkworms.
Yeah.
And a hero was born.
Whoa, yeah.
Spider cat.
Spider cat. So in a similar case to Aoshima, the cat population in Tashirojima went unspayed and unneutered, and thus grew and surpassed the human population. The human population today is around 100 inhabitants, and cats outnumber humans 6 to 1. As with Aoshima, Tashirojima's inhabitants are mostly 65 or older. It is believed by the inhabitants of Tashirojima that giving food to the cats will foster good luck and prosperity.
There's a problem.
The cats are very well cared for and have become almost like a mascot for the island. And due to this, no one on Tashirojima is allowed to have a dog. Yes.
Going by the Looney Tunes rules.
I know.
Actually, I think a dog would be emasculated and intimidated by all those cats.
All those
he sees
cats?
one cat, because dogs and cats, what is this, Ghostbusters?
Yeah,
they're
I
not
know.
enemies. But yeah, you'd see one and he'd be like, huh, is there a cat out there? And then he sees like 30 pairs of eyes and it's like, I need to come back in.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yes. So some locals even believe that it was the cats on the island that kept most of Tashirojima from being damaged during the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. It was close to the center of the storm. Tashirojima was partially engulfed by water and several buildings were destroyed.
Because they're lucky?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, God.
But the people and the cats were mostly spared. The island is located behind a peninsula which also helped shelter the island in the storm.
Yeah. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, exactly. Since the Edo period, Tashirojima has been home to a large fisherman population. The fishermen of Tashirojima especially believe that cats are harbingers of good fortune. In the past, they observed cats' behavior and believed that they divined the weather forecasts and fish movements. So they looked to the cats to figure out how they were going to fish.
Well, if you're going to trust somebody about fish, make it a cat.
It's going to be a cat. Yeah. So Neco Jinja is a small cat shrine that is in the middle of Tashirojima. The shrine was started by a fisherman, as the story goes, who one day was gathering rocks to utilize in his fixed nets for fishing when a single rock accidentally fell from his hand and killed a cat. Feeling remorseful for the death of the cat, the fisherman enshrined and buried the cat in the present-day location of the shrine. There are actually a minimum of 10 cat shrines in Miyagi Prefecture alone in Japan.
Wow.
Tashirojima is also not easy to access, as the Ajishima line ferry only makes 2 to 3 trips to the island a day. There are 2 different ports on the island. The Nitoda part, which is the second stop, apparently has a larger populations of cats to visit with. While slightly more tourist-friendly than Aoshima, Tashirojima still isn't built for a lot of tourists. There are a couple of minshuku, which are small family-run bed and breakfasts, a few public toilets, and a drink vending machine. There are now a few shops that sell food, but they do not have a lot of variety. What?
Maybe the quarantine dealt with this problem.
Oh, because there's no tourists coming to the island to feed the cats?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that.
Maybe,
I
wow,
haven't
plus
seen
cats.
any updates about it.
Cats can get COVID. Plus, oh no. The first fairy comes back and they're like, okay, everybody's, oh my God. And one giant cat king. All the cats have merged together. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. There's a camping resort on Tashirojima known as Manga Island that features some art by manga artists Shotaro Ishinomori. Ishinomori, who was influential in manga, anime, and tokusatsu, which means special filming in Japanese. It's like Godzilla films, Power Rangers, that sort of thing.
Okay.
We'll get into that at some point. Ishinomori created the manga Cyborg 009, Kamen Rider. He created the manga and the tokusatsu films and TV show, and the Super Sentai series, which is also a tokusatsu TV show that the Power Rangers was based off of.
Right.
Ishinomori used to live in Ishinomaki City, which Tashirojima is off the coast of, and the resort features cat-shaped vacation cottages, and he did some of the paintings outside of those cottages of cats. Itadakimasu with Usagi. What did Usagi eat in this episode? Rei calls Mamoru and invites him to...
She ate Luna's lunch. Sorry.
Yeah, she did. Rei calls Mamoru and invites him to a shop that has an, quote, unusual cake called tiramisu.
It's on brand because actually I'm surprised that they don't know about it because the whole show uses romantic influences, and I mean romantic, but I also mean literally like Italian, Tuscan sort of influences, and so tiramisu, like they should have been chowing down on that this whole time.
Right. I mean, do we need to explain what tiramisu is? It's an
Italian
lady figures
dessert soaked in espresso with cream and mascarpone, cheese, cream. It's very delicious, very decadent. It was so big. It was real big in the 90s.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know why.
So, okay.
Not quite as big as it used to be, but a lot of prom dates dusted off a lot of tiramisu in the 90s.
Later in the episode, Yuichiro invites Rei to have a cup of tea with him, then he gives up pretty easily as far as that goes.
Yeah, he's got complicated thought processes that I am not entirely privy to.
Nobody is.
Maybe we'll learn more about him.
Yes. My Heart is a Kaleidoscope, where we talk about fashion and Sailor Moon. What the heck are they wearing? The little girl at the beginning, who I don't think we ever learn her name.
When was the last time that happened?
Wow.
Psychic father on the in the
that's
hostel.
True. Yeah, we didn't know his name. We didn't know any of the people who worked there's names.
Oh, Wolfman, Vampire, Ghost Lady, or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Frankenstein.
Exactly. So the little girl was wearing a puffy light pink dress with a frilly white collar and a lime green trim, an aqua bow on the collar in front, a lime green sash with a bow at the back, white socks, black Mary Janes, and lime green ribbons in her hair to fasten braids. It was a busy dress.
Oh, there's a lot of little girls. Well, there's not a lot of little girls in the show, but there little girls in this show wear these doll dresses.
Yeah, no,
Almost
you're right.
unfailingly,
Like
with at least one or two extra tiers of lace, of edged lace.
like Mika.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
What? Usagi's brother's friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She kind of mimicked like what the dolls were wearing that she made.
Well, yeah, that was a literal doll show, but yeah.
Then we see the Scouts in some great street fashion. Ami is wearing a long sleeve magenta turtleneck, light blue sweater hung over her shoulders, light brown short skirt, yellow tights, and brown shoes. Usagi is wearing a light red jacket with a lime green collar, light purple turtleneck shirt, navy blue shorts, purple socks, white shoes, and a purple and pink backpack with brown drawstrings. And Makoto is wearing a red sleeveless turtleneck, a light yellow sweatshirt that is off the shoulder, light green slacks, and brown shoes.
Yeah, that was a nice combo.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't care if my shoulders are cold.
Right? Well, I thought it was kind of like an interesting detail because when they first approach me, you don't see that. You don't see it until like later.
And it was they didn't have athleisure back then.
Not the way that we do now. No.
But it's sort of it's like athleisure-y kind of, because the
Yeah.
red turtleneck could have been like a halter
exercise top.
or like a exercise top.
Yeah.
And then the sweatshirt was like a flash dancey kind of sweatshirt. It's kind
Yeah,
of
I like that. Yeah, for sure. And then we
all
see
size XL.
right. Then we see Ray in her date outfit, which is a long sleeve button up orange blouse with puffy sleeves that looks very 80s.
Yeah.
Dangly orange earrings that match her blouse, a short and red skirt with a green leaf pattern on it, and a blue purse.
Mamoru doesn't know what he's missing.
Yeah, right. And then we get a flash of Mamoru, and he is wearing a light blue long sleeve button up shirt and green slacks. And then we see Yuichiro. He's wearing the same outfit that he was before. And in episode 30, his blue jean jacket has the sleeves rolled up this time, a light brown button-up shirt, long sleeve shirt underneath that, long sleeve black shirt underneath that, and blue jeans.
Is she ever going to go for him? Would she go for him? Is she just dating Mamoru to spite Usagi, and now the bid is getting old, and she's like,
well, I think she genuinely likes Mamoru, but I think she's more into
Why would
Mamoru
she ever
than
go for Yuichiro then?
Yeah, I don't know.
The guy, like, he almost has,
because he shows genuine interest in her,
but he
and
almost
he's actually
has,
a good guy.
like Pigpen clouds coming off of him. Do you know what I mean? He's a very different individual than a Mamoru.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a good answer for you. Yeah, they seem like completely different choices.
Yeah.
Well, they are. So, yeah. Villain gauge, where we rate a baddie 1 to 5 dark stars, 5 being the most wicked. This episode, of course, we have Rhett Butler the Cat, whose name, of course, is for Clark Gable's character in Gone with the Wind.
Right.
And the Youma that he turns into, I don't think anybody ever says his name, but if you look it up, it's Bakane.
Bakane.
Yes. And
what's the story behind that?
We'll get to it in a minute.
Sorry.
So I looked it up, and it's actually, he has the purple rainbow crystal, or violet rainbow crystal.
Am I colorblind?
No,
I'm seeing different colors than other people are in this.
I understand what you mean. They look different than when you look them up. They say it's this color. So I don't know who is deciding that.
The administrator of Sailor Moon Wiki is colorblind. We've got our answer.
So Bakane is a play on the Japanese term bakeneko, which means changed cat.
What? How does? Come on. What is? Come on.
Neko is cat.
Yeah.
So it's a yokai. It's a well-known yokai or ghost, phantom, spirit in Japanese folklore. So changed cat.
Like transformed.
Yes.
All right. Well, get the translation
All
right.
right.
Per whoever wrote that.
So yokai is made up of 2 kanji, one that means bewitching, attractive, calamity,
right,
and the second means specter, apparition, mystery, suspicious. And there is a very large range of temperament from mischievous to malicious, or from time to time they can bring good luck to those who run into them.
Of course.
So sometimes they're a good yokai.
Bring good luck.
Yeah, right.
Car accident. Good luck.
So a bakeneko is occasionally confused with a nekomata, which is another cat-like yokai. However, the nekomata has 2 tails, while the bakeneko has 1.
Oh, yeah.
So a bakeneko is thought to start out as an ordinary house cat, and they're thought to turn into bakeneko when they are 12 to 13 years old.
Oh, old, okay.
Yes. And the age depends on like different areas of Japan, I think different times. And then they evolve to have paranormal abilities. So due to this belief, some people way back when who own cats decided early on how many years they would keep the cat as a pet. So if it was getting older, they would they're like,
send
I don't want this cat anymore. Right. So during the Edo period, there was a folk belief that cats with lengthy tails like snakes could entrance humans. Largely because of this, cats with long tails were not well liked, and the practice of cutting or bobbing their tails came about.
Wow.
I know. A popular belief about bakeneko is that they lick lamp oil, and that's a sign of a bakeneko. So during the Edo period, it was seen as a sign of changing into one.
But what would be in a lamp oil?
So this is really part of the problem. Is back then they often used a cheap, inexpensive fish oil, like a sardine oil, so no wonder they're attracted to it.
Probably smelled great.
Yeah, right. I guess if you saw your cat on its hind legs licking a lamp, that's like it's a bakeneko. Yeah, exactly. Once they turn into a bakeneko, they can grow as big as a human. They can shapeshift, usually choosing to take human form, sometimes the form of their owner. Sometimes they curse or kill their owner and then shapeshift into them.
Whoa.
Yeah. They can also bewitch and take over a human. They can lie in wait in the mountains and bring wolves with them to strike human travelers, which is very specific. They can speak human languages.
See these eyes so green.
They can create fireballs.
Whoa.
Their tails can serve as torches. Not sure if the fireball gets transferred to their tail or what, but they're known for accidentally starting house fires.
Sure.
Because that happens.
Well, when everything's wood and paper, yeah, it does.
Yeah, I guess. They also...
You know what it really was?
What?
You're licking the oil.
Uh-huh.
Once they're done, push the lamp off the table.
Oh, I bet. Yes! That's the missing link! That's it! They also...
That's how we know the earth isn't flat. Cats haven't pushed everything off of it. Checkmate, flat earthers.
I like it. They're also known for putting a napkin or towel on their heads and dancing around gleefully.
What? What?
I know, it's so random. but and then this, perhaps the most unsettling of all their powers, bakeneko could reanimate recently made corpses and control them like puppets.
We've got a franchise here. This is, forget cat people. We're going to take it to the next level.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You could have a whole thing that's just basically like a vampire movie, but with a bakeneko.
Yes.
He's a
absolutely.
cat the whole time. Or she.
Right, exactly. Rhett Butler, of course, is an aqua cat or blue cat for some reason. Maybe it's because of the crystal or something like that. I don't know.
He's not healthy.
No. I love that he acts a lot like Tuxedo Mask, but that's strange. So Rhett Butler is the last of the 4 Seven Youma and the only non-human. Is bakeneko, he keeps his aqua coloring and grows to be larger than a human. Has a crazy, shaggy, long mane and tail that are navy blue. Gold bangle bracelets. A gold necklace that looks Egyptian, like you said. And a red necklace that almost looks like it has 5 claws hanging from it.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy the overall design of this Youma, but he unfortunately does next to nothing besides saving Luna when she falls. And then he says meow fresh, which is amazing. So I'm going to give him 3 out of 5 dark stars.
Why can't he talk?
I don't know! That's the only word he says. But how could they not go for it?
Yeah,
meow fresh.
They saw it. Yeah. Yeah. No, meow fresh is the way to go.
Yeah.
I always break all of my rules, but I was 4.
Whoa.
Well, I might have been in a 3, but all the things you told me about it bakeneko just pushes it over the edge. And I always had on my list here the potential.
Yes.
We sometimes dock Youma when they don't do much.
Yes.
And this guy basically did nothing.
No.
But he had so much potential. And I like the idea that usually the Youma is there to, if it's, dearly departed, Jadeite, it's like they had a lot on their shoulders. It's like, do my plan.
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
All right, great, fine. These are just like, become a monster and I guess kill the Sailor Scouts if they're here, or
Yes.
let's wait around and just chat until they show up.
Right.
But he was like, not like Zoisite just took off, and then he was just like, I guess I'll destroy the town, and he just starts like walking towards. And I was like, what would happen if he like got on into like
That's a really great question.
Shinjuku Station or something like that?
I mean, he's not like as big as like a kaiju or anything like that, but he still would be terrifying to run into.
Yeah, we don't know what he could
and
have
destructive.
done. Yeah. He could have wrecked the city. So,
Yeah, he could have.
So I don't know. And also the design is
The
a plus.
design is amazing. That's why I gave him as.
You don't have
I
to
wish he'd done more.
explain it to me.
I know. Could have had him do fireballs, learning all that about bakeneko, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to have brand confusion with Ray.
I guess.
So anyway, plus when she sees Luna and him together, she sees them surrounded by fire, which I figured was just referring to the flames of passion, but it could have been a reference to the fire element of
That's a good
bakeneko.
point.
That's why
You're a thinker.
the noob is becoming the somewhat more educated
disciple,
noob.
the master.
Sailor novice.
There you go. Ooh,
No,
moving up in the
it's
world.
too late. We made the posters already. So yeah, 4 for me.
All right. For our segment Sabu or Dabu, where we talk about the differences between the sub and the dub. So there are a couple things this episode. So for the dub, Usagi's opening segment was cut. So when she talks about what's going to happen, and apparently that's cut quite a bit.
Yeah. In fact, I only see those when we watch the Viz ones, right? I've started watching
Yes.
it online,
Yes.
which you can do at viz.com. And yeah, then they have the whole thing in there.
And Viz redid a dub. So when I'm talking about the dub, I'm talking about the original Deke dub.
Yeah.
So they did a lot of
Yeah.
cuts. So in the original anime, we see Rhett Butler and his owner, and then it smoothly transitions into Zoisite seeing the same image. In the dub, they added a digital bump of Crystal Lightning Bolt for some reason between those two images. In the original, Luna dipped her tail in the fountain. That was cut in the dub. The dub alters Luna's discourse about why she doesn't want to go near the house. In the dub, she directly states to the scouts that the cat who lives there likes her, while in the Japanese version, she doesn't even mention the cat. When the scouts approach the house, all of the names of the family members are written in Japanese on the nameplate, or hyosetsu. This is a very common feature for Japanese homes. In episode 29, we saw that Matoki had one outside of his apartment. The dub decided to delete the names, effectively making the nameplate blank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just write Smith on it or something.
I know, right? Also, the dub changed the name of the cat from Rhett Butler to Hercules. I don't know why.
I don't hate it.
You don't hate it?
No.
I mean, I guess it's people are going to know it more, right? So.
Well, it's well, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's an 8-year-old in 1993. It's like, I don't get it. But yeah, it's the same like kind of heroic quality. It's an ironic name. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, I guess. So now we're at the part where we rate the episode and we give our English titles. I like that we get a Luna episode and that the last Youma was not reborn as a human. And I think there are lots of really great bits in this episode, and it's pretty funny. And I enjoyed it overall, so I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 roses.
Like any episode or entry in a series that sort of switches things up and maybe introduces some new things, I'm worried that we need to now look at every dog askance and every squirrel
Oh my gosh.
in the park askance. All of these creatures are now, fair
be Youma.
game for Youma,
Yeah,
only
yeah.
adding to the dystopia of Tokyo. The dystokyo.
Yes.
T-shirts available soon. And so that unnerves me. Also, I hate to be a sellout because once again, this episode is fairly different than the usual type of episode that we get.
Right.
And I like it when a show can be itself and do what it does and succeed just for that. And I always hate when people point out, my favorite episode of Star Trek is like the one where they're not when they're in an evil universe or something.
Right.
Or I like the X-Files episode that's goofy. What a goofy show. 5 stars.
Really? You're so funny.
For 5 roses. This is just for 2 reasons. One, this is just superlative. Like, it is just timed well. It's funny. It's insane and ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just for those reasons it's great. But also something I'm noticing is that this show can just do this. It can just pull one of these out.
Yes.
And it isn't every once in a while. The show, in the last 10 episodes, half of them have been like funny comedic episodes.
Yes.
They're just like going for it, and
Yeah.
it works. And I don't know if they can keep it up or not, but the show's done great so far.
Yeah.
Like this is weird. Yes, it's a Luna episode, which is overdue. Maybe extra points for that. But, I don't feel like it is that far out of what the show usually does.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious.
Yes.
And it just deserves 5 stars.
Yeah.
Roses.
Okay.
I'm bad at branding.
No, it's all good.
5 roses.
I think that sounds good. My English title is Love Scratch Fever.
That's not you doing the Japanese. Look out, Luna. Come on. Well, hold on. Let me just cross cat scratch fever off of my thing here. Okay. Well, anyway, then I guess I'll have to do the English title, and mine would be Love is a Flame, Luna's large boyfriend.
That's good.
But
That's
if I was to try to go down that path and, think about how it's cats,
yes,
that has taken on a new significance in this society.
Yeah.
You'd be like Mr. Mistafid-less, or the Tum Tum Lugger,
Oh my goodness.
or Jenny Anyfood,
Whoa.
Bust Open Jones,
There you go.
Gut the Feedable Cat.
Okay, I think you got it there.
Thank you.
Next episode, we are talking about episode number 32. Umino no Keshin, Naru-chan wa boku ga mamoru in Japanese. Umino's resolve, I'll protect Naru, the English translation, and the English title, Tuxedo Melvin.
Yeah. This one is sort of like, incomplete or not available for competition, disqualified. You know what I mean?
The English title?
Yeah, because it's the Melvin thing.
Yeah.
And I get what they're doing.
Yeah.
And if suddenly put like alternate universe where we're doing like the Deke dub instead of like the original Tuxedo Melvin.
Right. But
So-
it should be like Tuxedo Umino or something.
But that
like
wouldn't make any sense.
No.
Because it's Tuxedo Mask.
It's right.
Tuxedo Melvin.
Yeah.
So I get it.
exactly. Yeah, I get it too.
Thumbs up.
All right. Well, that's our show for this week, and the Name of the Moon will be punishing you next week with another episode of Sailor Noob.
Now fresh!
プリンセス